everyone, and welcome back. I'm Adriana Monique Alvarez. I'm with Alma Publishing, and today I am so excited to speak to Cenly on what it takes to prepare students for the new earth. Hi, Cenly. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Adriana. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. And will you tell us where in the world you're joining from?
I'm from Brisbane, Australia. Right now it's midnight.
I'm telling you, I was telling you before we went live. Oh my goodness! And you're a teacher, yeah? You're getting ready to go to work in the morning, huh?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for staying up late. So, obviously, education and how we educate our children has really come forward during this year. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
And
yes.
You know, we were talking about, obviously there's so many different ways that education can look depending on where in the world we're at. You know, I'm sure my education in the US was different than someone in Asia, different than someone in Australia, different than someone in Europe. But right now, what a lot of people have, at least for a few weeks, have tasted is this having school be in the home, this distance school or this online school. And so the very first thing that I would love for you to talk about is, what is the difference between homeschool and this thing that, you know, some parents have been sort of put in the position of handling in terms of distance learning?
Okay. I'll speak in for Australia itself. Homeschooling actually is more flexible, and they have their own curriculum, and they don't follow a structured unless it's been planned by the parent and the child itself. With what we've been assigned to do as teachers is during the COVID and during isolations, it's called remote learning, where the curriculum and the content is being sent from the school to the parents, and it's up to the parents to teach the content to their child. Yeah. So the main difference.
And you know, one of the things I was hearing from a relative of mine in California is she has to get her kids up at a certain time. They have to basically be able to prove that they're in front of the computer. They got these little check-in things. Yes. They've got to sit in front of the computer. I mean, her kids are the same age as mine, right? So they're 6 years old, and they have to sit in front of the computer, I think, for like 6 hours a day, right? They have check-ins, they have assignments, and there's absolutely no flexibility. It's not like, well, as long as you get it done this day or this week. So what have you noticed this causes for parents who are trying to juggle this new thing? They also have their job or their business. How is this creating stress, conflict? What have you seen?
Okay, from my own case as well, I also struggled during that 5 weeks of isolation. I had to be at school and doing my work, and when I come home, I've got my 4 boys, and have to check in and make sure that they did the work they're assigned to do. And it's hard to do as a parent, because we're not used to teaching our child with, you know, different subjects, and especially to be in front of the computer for that long. So the school does suggest that there's been email sent, get the child to take regular breaks, 10-15 minutes every 1 hour or so, and just sometimes it's better for them to have also the time for themselves to, you know, 1 hour be outside and you know, do some exercise, and then come back to the learning, in front of the computer later.
Okay, so Cenly, this might not be popular, but the last thing I want my kids to do is spend 45 minutes of every hour looking at a computer screen. That's right. I don't even want to spend 45 minutes of every hour looking at a computer screen, right? So when we look at, you know, we were talking about this, all of the different types of intelligence and all the different ways students learn. I'm guessing most students don't learn at their best in this kind of setup,
environment.
Right? Remote. Yeah, in this kind of environment. So from your point of view, what are other ways for us to look at and encourage intelligence and learning other than sit here, be quiet, memorize, regurgitate, and pass a test?
Okay. Yes. The first of all is how we do standardized testing. Some countries in the world do not have standardized testing. There's many ways to assess the child, not just from rote learning and memorizing. There's for example, the subject of HPE, health and education. We have the theory side and also the practical side of it. Yeah, and it's up to the government, and the countries themselves to and down to the micro side at the actual school and the teachers how they assess their students. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So let's say tomorrow, schools as we have known them, education as we have known it, is gone. Poof, it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
You're a mother and you're a teacher and you have all of this background. If none of this existed, what would be the most important things that you would teach your children?
That is, back to how, like, long time ago, there were no school for children. It's they learn all they have to in families. So parents actually, teach what they need to learn. For example, if you are from a farming background, they learn all they can following the footsteps of their parents. And then at night, when we don't have any computers, electricity back then, is just sitting around a fire, listening to stories. Well, we don't have much of that now. And so it's, I think I was just thinking also before, maybe part of one of the good things that come out of it is parents connecting with their children during this time, which a lot may have lost. Yeah.
So true. It's connection on a different level. And I love what you said. It is true. I mean, if I think about my grandparents or the great grandparents, that's what they did, right? This is the skill set I know, or this is the trade I've learned. And so you're going to come alongside me and you're going to watch me and you're going to do it. And I'm going to show you. And then we talk, we tell stories, we have meals. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
That feels amazing to have a return to that. It almost feels like a return to like some of the older, more wise ways. Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Cenly, tell me a little bit about the work that you do outside of teaching students and being at school.
Okay. So I'm a yoga nidra facilitator. So I have been introducing meditation or yoga nidra, which is meditation lying down, to schools and also to retreats. Been to run a few workshops and introduce the participants of what is yoga nidra. And I find that with meditation, even with students, 5-10 minutes really does make a difference to how they go during the day. Recently, I led, we call year 10, so he's about 16 years old. He told me that he couldn't sleep until about 4 a.m. And then I told him, okay, so you need to meditate for 10 minutes. And he said, I can't meditate. And I got him, no, just listen and, get into the condition, quiet time. And after that 10 minutes, he was so amazed and he actually thanked me. It was the first time he meditated. And that makes a world of difference in how, because I didn't want him to get in trouble or be in disengaging class and then have behavior issues afterwards in that morning. And yeah, so I can truly tell that it does make a difference in everyone's life. Another testimony is in my own, I started a new school this year. previous years I've been in special schools, there was this staff, he works 4 jobs. And he says that he normally, so his day start from 6 a.m. and it goes, it depends, like 9 p.m. He would need to, after the school shift, he go home and have a nap. But because he's been attending my sessions, I open up my classrooms except for my playground duty time for all the staff at the school. He's been attending that regularly. It makes so much difference. He's feel refreshed. He doesn't need to have naps anymore for his day. And that was just for like 15 minutes of lying down, in that silence. Yeah.
Cenly, when you said you open your classrooms for this, I mean, gosh, that just makes me, that's amazing. How lucky is that school to have you?
Thank you. Yes. I also do, we have well-being week at my current school, and I do run yoga nidra as well for during lunchtime, so the teachers and the other staffs can join in. Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, when the teachers are receiving this, right, then they're totally different in the classroom. When the students get it, wow, that we need more of that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We're looking into it because I also on Facebook I run a mom's group, and I've been contacted by a journalist about meditation. It's just she didn't know that I do meditation at schools, and when she found out, she's like, oh, it's a trend now. They're trying to bring in more and more, and hopefully the state's government will bring in that into the state curriculum, so a lot more people can access that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that belongs in the curriculum, doesn't it? Absolutely. Cenly, how can people connect with you?
They can go to my website, www.cenlyswellnesscorner.com.
Excellent. Cenly, thank you so much for participating in Awakening, for writing your chapter, but for what the space that you hold every day for staff, for students, for families, especially during this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I want to remind everyone to pick up their copy of Awakening. It's available on Amazon now. You're going to love it. It's full of amazing people, just like Cenly. Go to her chapter and make sure you check out her meditations. Talk about powerful. And if you would like to be in our next book, Visionary, we are getting ready to wrap that up at the end of this month. I think we have one more space, so I'll put a link to that application in the comments below. Thank you, Cenly. Go get some sleep. Thank you so much for what you do. Until next time, big hugs from Colorado. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.